Welcome to another episode of Spirit Juice No Additive with Edward. Thank you for tuning in. I am here to give an update on Shanquilla Robinson case. Um, well, like, share, and subscribe. And it appears that the Cabo 6 may never collectively have to pay for, with the exception of one, which is the one that's on the video. Um, Pay for what they did over in Cabo, Mexico. Number one, they had a conference last week, and it was said at the conference, it was asked at the conference to the governor, what is being done with the case? What is the update? What is the status? They said they've done everything that they possibly could to get the United States to extradite the six. However, only one warrant has been issued, and that's with the actual abuser on the tape. They said that they want to interview. That isn't the ulterior. That is the ultimate word to be used here to acknowledge. Interview. We as United States citizens do not have to be interviewed if we don't want to. If there's not an arrest warrant, we can deny any communication with public officials, with the law enforcement. And we can't extradite without some type of felony, without some type of charge or warrant. They can't get a warrant from them because they can't interview them. Now, they did give miscommunication from when they got back to America. They did give misinformation as far as why Tranquilla passed away. However, they don't know that. They might have just thought that that was the case. And then maybe Shanquilla was well after the fight, and then she fell into this sickness, this alcohol poisoning or whatever. We don't know. All we've seen is a fight, and she had a broken neck and spine, and we don't know how that came about as far as the participation of the Cabo 6. The unfortunate thing is that they were allowed to leave the country before they were questioned. But as American citizens, we don't have to answer questions. We do not have to. It's not a crime to deny to be interviewed. They just cannot pick these people up out of their lives and have them extradited. Number one, they can fight extradition. And during the extradition process, it has to be heard by a judge. And the judge has to decide whether or not there's enough evidence or enough to charge these people, and if the charge is going to be sustainable for prosecution. That's first and foremost. You just can't just pick people up and just send them over there. It has to be initiated by a warrant, and then at that point, the extradition process starts. A judge has to hear the charges and see what evidence they have so far. So the problem is only one person has a warrant. The other 5 people they just want to interview them. Okay, well, I don't want to be interviewed. Okay, so they don't have to go. They haven't been charged with a crime. They don't have enough evidence to charge them. So they will never have to go over to Cabo if there's not enough evidence shown to the United States government that they committed a crime. Period, point blank. It's not going to happen. It's against our constitutional right. Yes, it's against the constitutional rights for us to be violated, because it might be a wrongful arrest, and you done sent these folks way over to Cabo. We might never see them again because their justice system is totally different. If they can charge the Cabo 6 the other 5 people, they would have by now. They don't have enough evidence. And that's why they had a conference last week and somebody asked for the status. They said they need to interview them. They did the warrant for the one person. They did the red flag. They did all of that. They just waiting on the United States government. The United States government can only do within their power to do, which is start expediting, the one that has a warrant. Now she might be fighting extradition, which is a whole court case, and it just has to be dragged out in court and established whether or not they have enough evidence. And the judge has to look at the charges and look at the evidence and see, if it's viable for her to go over there and be charged and be arrested. But the other 5 so far, nothing. Nobody's talking. Once they get her over there and she started talking, they can use her as leverage to charge these folks and get them over there. Once she tell them what type of participation they had in the case. But yeah, the Mexican government is saying they did everything. It's just up to the United States government to move forward. And they can't with just a request for interview. Who's going to send somebody way over to Cabo just to be interviewed? Nope, we're not doing that. They don't have to do that, according to the United States government constitution. That's the sad part about it, that they may not realize, Shanquella's family may not realize the benefit of justice from all 6 people involved. However, it seems like Hyatt has been fired from her job. Wyatt or Hyatt, one of the girls, Alicia, was fired from her job. So they're having some consequences on this end, but not in a justice capacity. So yeah, we have to wait to see what the fallout is going to be, if they're going to find something to charge these folks. And it has to be a felony. It has to be something like treason or a felony or some type of murder crime. That's very significant for them to be extradited. And they can fight extradition, which means the judge can say, hey, y'all don't have enough to convict them as far as we're concerned, so we're not going to extradite them. You can't just expedite somebody or charge somebody with recording something and not jumping in and helping in a fight. It's their choice to say, hey, let them fight or jump in, because there was no motive to kill. They were just fighting. So I'm interested to see how this all comes together, but I'm pretty sure that they're not going to be extradited just to be interviewed. That's sad, but that's the reality of it. So like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Any concerns, holla. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.